Before she was a rising star in Hollywood, Rachel Sennott was just another college student trying to make people laugh at late-night comedy gigs. Born on September 19, 1995 in Connecticut, Rachel's path to fame wasn't pre-planned. It was raw, chaotic, and refreshingly real. She studied at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, where she first dipped her toes into stand-up comedy. Performing in cramped venues and basements, she honed her voice, not just as a comedian, but as a storyteller with a razor-sharp edge. Her early material, honest, awkward, and unapologetically millennial. She didn't pretend to be perfect, and that's exactly why people listened. Rachel's comedy wasn't the polished, punchline-heavy style you'd expect. It was messy, vulnerable, and brutally self-aware. She tackled topics like dating disasters, anxiety, and identity crises, delivered with deadpan brilliance and wide-eyed charm. Her Twitter page quickly became a breeding ground for viral one-liners, earning her a loyal online following. But Rachel wasn't content with internet fame. She used her comedic voice as a launch pad to dive into acting and writing, and it wasn't long before the film world took notice. The film that changed everything for Rachel was Shiva Baby, 2020, a biting, claustrophobic comedy drama set at a Jewish funeral. Playing Danielle, a college student juggling secrets and sexual tension in a room full of relatives, Rachel delivered a performance that was anxious, hilarious, and achingly human. It wasn't just a breakout, it was a revelation. Audiences and critics alike praised her for portraying discomfort and chaos with such sharp control. Suddenly, Rachel Sennott was no longer just a comedian. She was a bona fide leading lady. Following Shiva Baby, Rachel quickly became a go-to name for bold indie roles that pushed boundaries. In 2022's Bodies, 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 she played Alice, a chaotic podcasting party girl who stole every scene. With perfect comedic timing and a deep understanding of how Gen Z navigates identity and insecurity, Rachel turned what could have been a caricature into a standout character. Her ability to blend satire with sincerity set her apart in an industry often obsessed with polish over personality. Rachel isn't just acting. She's writing, producing, and shaping the stories she wants to tell. She co-created and starred in the HBO series High Maintenance, and worked on pilot scripts that reflect her signature voice, awkward, intimate, and fearlessly funny. She's also collaborated closely with fellow comedian-turned-director Emma Seligman, with whom she developed Shiva Baby and the upcoming queer teen comedy Bottoms. Rachel isn't waiting for permission. She's creating her own platform and bringing fresh, female-centered chaos to the screen. Part of Rachel's appeal is how little she hides. On social media and in interviews, she's candid about mental health, body image, relationships, and rejection. Her honesty is as much a part of her brand as her punchlines. Fans feel like they know her, not just the polished red carpet version, but the one who posts about bad hair days, existential dread, and food cravings. In an industry built on appearances, Rachel's self-deprecating realness feels like a breath of fresh air. Rachel Sennott is more than a moment. She's a movement, a voice for a generation that laughs through its panic attacks and turns trauma into comedy gold. With more projects lined up, both on-screen and behind the scenes, Rachel is redefining what it means to be a funny woman in Hollywood. She's not trying to be the next big thing. She's just being exactly who she is. And in doing so, she's becoming one of the most exciting creative forces of her time. When Jabari Banks was cast as the lead in Peacock's Bel-Air, the pressure was immense. After all, he was stepping into the shoes of Will Smith, one of the most iconic roles in TV history. But instead of imitation, Jabari brought transformation. Born in West Philadelphia, just like the character he'd one day play, his life had come full circle in the most surreal way possible. From humble beginnings to nationwide screens, Jabari didn't just land a role, he embodied a legacy with authenticity, heart, and his own modern swagger. Jabari was raised in a tight-knit family that always encouraged creativity. He attended the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, where he studied musical theater. But before the lights and cameras, Jabari was just a kid with big dreams, soaking in music, dance, and drama, unsure where it would lead. He worked jobs to get by, played basketball with friends, and wrote music in his free time. Acting was a goal, but he didn't expect it to happen so quickly. or so dramatically. One day, he was watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reruns. Next, he was getting a call that would change his life. When Bel-Air premiered in 2022, viewers were stunned, not just by the show's darker, more grounded tone, but by Jabari's breakout performance. As Will, he wasn't just charismatic, he was layered, raw, and real. The show explored themes like identity, trauma, and class, and Jabari carried the emotional weight with remarkable depth for a newcomer. He gave Will Banks a voice that was relatable to a new generation, while still honoring the humor and charm that made the original character iconic. It wasn't a reboot, it was a reinvention, and Jabari was the heart of it. What makes Jabari stand out isn't just his acting chops. He's a true multi-hyphenate, actor, musician, writer, and creative force. He writes R&B and hip-hop tracks, blends poetry with rhythm, and dreams of releasing a full-length album. For him, art is a form of expression that goes far beyond scripts. Whether he's behind a mic or in front of a camera, he carries an energy that's both grounded and electrifying. He brings vulnerability to every performance, on stage and off, and he's only just begun to show the full range of what he can do. Despite the fame that's come his way, Jabari remains deeply grounded. He speaks often about staying connected to his roots, surrounding himself with real people, and protecting his peace. In interviews, he radiates humility, gratitude, and thoughtfulness. There's no Hollywood ego, just a young man who knows who he is and where he comes from. Whether he's walking red carpets or mentoring local youth, Jabari hasn't forgotten. The kid from West Philly who once believed success was a distant dream. Jabari Banks is becoming a symbol of possibility, especially for young Black creatives. His journey proves that raw talent, dedication, and authenticity can still cut through the noise of the entertainment world. He's using his platform to inspire conversations around representation, culture, and personal growth. And he's not afraid to show his struggles along the way. He's open about anxiety, imposter syndrome, and the pressure of being in the spotlight. But through it all, he keeps showing up with courage and purpose. Jabari Banks is not a one-season wonder. He's a rising force in Hollywood with limitless potential. As Bel-Air continues to gain traction and more opportunities roll in, one thing is clear: Jabari isn't just playing a role, he's creating a path. Whether it's acting, music, or beyond, his artistry is fueled by sincerity and boldness. He represents the future of storytelling, dynamic, diverse, and deeply human, and we can't wait to see what he does next. Jabari Banks isn't just riding the wave of a legendary franchise, he's building a legacy of his own. He's carving out a space where vulnerability and Black excellence coexist, where young artists see themselves reflected in ways that are real, complex, and inspiring. As he continues to evolve on and off screen, Jabari represents a shift in what stardom looks like. Not loud or overproduced, but intentional, raw, and full of soul. With each role, each lyric, and each moment he chooses to be authentically himself, Jabari reminds us that greatness isn't about where you start, it's about how fearlessly you grow.